What is up, y'all? KRC Pinto here. Today we're talking Zato. Zato-1 is a complex character in Guilty Gear Strive. Controlling both him and Eddie can be intimidating, and it takes some practice using him before you see results. Today, I wanted to ease the process a bit and discuss some essential plays you can make with Zato to get your opponent sweating and start making use of his powerful mix-up potential. Remember to like this video and sub the channel. Helps me out massively, and you get to see more Strive guides. Win-win. Anyways, here are 5 essential Zato-1 plays you should know in Guilty Gear Strive. Sweep into summon. This is the first basic play you should learn when you pick up Zato-1. What you want to do here is land either a 5k or a 2k. Both of these moves hit low, and landing them gets you some pretty nice value. Once you land one, you can cancel into your 2D sweep, then you can raw summon Eddie and move him behind the opponent. All of this happens while they're knocked down. During the summon animation, what you're going to want to do is make use of negative edge and shift your finger over to the K button and hold it down. Move Eddie behind them, and then when they begin to get up from being knocked down, release the K button, and Eddie will do his drill move. The drill move will lock them down. If they don't know what you're up to, you'll land a hit with the drills, and you can go into frog loops from there for some damage, which is nice. If they're experienced against Zato and they block this, then you can go for a mix-up, get a nice little high-low. Practice this situation a lot, and you'll be in a good position in match to make use of your knockdown. The Pierce Blender. Pierce is a tricky move. It hits twice with a gap between the two hits. When you do it in an opponent's face raw, they can mash between the hits and beat Eddie, or they can jump out of it. However, if you can get Eddie behind them with a raw summon or a drunkard shade, Pierce becomes extremely deadly. Start a Pierce by releasing the P button immediately after Drunkard Shade launches Eddie behind the opponent. Between the two Pierce hits, you can use 5k to hit low and keep the string airtight. After the second Pierce hit, there are 2 solid options. First off, you could use Zato's command grab to get some damage in, or you could use Drunkard Shade to send Eddie back behind them and repeat the process. This strategy gives you a nice little strike throw blender to keep your opponent on their toes. If they start to catch on to what you're doing, you can begin including 6Ks to add a high option in the mix. Although this is not airtight and can be mashed on. This very much relies upon the fear you've instilled in them so far. Using a pose to get a counter. This play is crucial for playing against characters with superior range but vulnerable hurt boxes like Nagoriyuki or Faust. What you'll want to do is put up a pose and wait for the enemy to get impatient. If they throw out a pose will eat the hit for you. Once you see a pose take the hit, use Drunkard Shade to counter hit their extended hurt box. This also works really well for dealing with people who jump in a lot. If someone is jump happy, throw a pose up, let them come at you, and then do your thing. Once you land the Drunkard Shade counter hit, Eddie will fire across the screen, and this lets you go straight into frog loops for nice damage. If the opponent gets wise to this and they choose not to engage with a pose, you can recall Eddie to rebuild his meter. You can also reset a pose with a clap reset by doing the input 236HS, or you can pivot into another Eddie move. This adds a layer of mind games to the situation. If the opponent tries to react to your recalls, setting up a second oppose could catch them off guard and let you put some damage down. Using a pose to cover a throw. Another common play using a pose is to use it to cover Zato while he goes in for a standard 6D throw. If you watch No Kami at all, you'll see him make this play a lot. Once opponents are conditioned to respect a pose, you can take way more liberties with it and approach with Zato to get a grab or a command grab if you're feeling squirrely. Generally, if the opponent tries to hit Zato and he's still within a pose will eat the hit and allow him to get the grab off. This is particularly useful in the corner, as they don't have a lot of options. If timed right, the throw will also combo into the hit animation of a pose and allow you to get more damage than a regular throw without using any meter, which is a nice little bonus. If opponents start getting wise to this play in the corner and jumping, feel free to jump up and snatch them with an air throw too. Playing Zato is all about reading what your opponent's going to do and being one step ahead of them. Sword Super for full screen punishes. Zoners can be a massive struggle for Zato. Axel. His approach tools are slow and punishable if properly read, and Eddie only has finite stamina. One way to create your opening is to use Sun Void to set Eddie up in their face from full screen. If you don't know already, using Sun Void causes Zato to summon a big black sword, which he can do on the ground or in the air, and he throws it full screen straight at the opponent. Once the sword hits the ground, whether or not it hit them, Eddie will be spawned at that point. This strategy is particularly useful against opponents who like to fill space with hitboxes. If you wait until they whiff something and time it right, you can punish their moves with your super and have Eddie do drills on wake up to enable you to approach the opponent safely. Like I said before, the super is also arrow K, so you can do it from flight position anywhere on screen. That means baiting out anti-airs, and when they whiff, punishing them brutally. In general, this allows you to put the hurt on any button-happy player and begin your offense. Alright, y'all. Those are 5 basic beginner Zato plays. I promise you, if you put the time in and start learning those plays, your Zato will go from, floor 1, 2, 3 to floor 6, 7, 8 almost automatically. These plays are seriously powerful, and if people don't know how to fight against them, it's free wins. Put in the work. Remember to sub the channel and like this video if you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time.